construction. Also, number 29, no common path of travel shall exceed 75 or 100 feet if the building is sprinkled. And it appears, this is the language right from the fire marshal's report. It appears the common path of travel from room 214 in the old building exceeds that common path distance. The fire marshal timeline. I believe the date of inspection was April 24th, 2008. Items 15, 18 through 32 should be put on a plan of correction, listing a timetable for completion within 5 years of the date. And this plan of correction should be submitted to this office for review and approval by July 1st, 2008. The current bond issue has been reviewed and approved by the fire marshal, which addresses all these issues that we have up here in the fire marshal report. And the task force analysis, after reviewing all these things, very many plans were analyzed, lots of meetings with the community were taken, as Bill said. Plans range from totally new construction to just renovation. And what the bond issue addresses, what we come up with here, is the 1928 existing North Addition renovations will be a little over $5.5 million. And this will include some of the big items. Old gym is converted to needed library space. Art classroom moved to current cafeteria. Fire codes address the sprinkling systems that we need, the corridors, the doors, fire exit doors, all the windows. All those things will be addressed. And the learning environment repairs that we need, as you saw in all those pictures. And also renovation to expand FFA, industrial arts, and ag rooms. Also, along with increasing our classroom size, we're going to add a science lab upstairs, meeting fire codes, heating and ventilation, cooling, all those things will be addressed. A new construction project, a little over $4.2 million. This will include a full preparation kitchen and cafeteria commons with restrooms, which will address the issue we have with our current cafeteria. We add a new cafeteria in the new construction. Practice gymnasium, drama practice room with wrestling room. As we move the library down to the small gym, we're going to be back to just one gym. Adding a practice gymnasium with two practice courts on it is what's going to be done. And the asterisk down here is the practice gym, the plans can be converted to a competition gym with private donations. So we're leaving ourselves as a community an option to do that, to take advantage of the gym. Community recommendation was the most cost-effective solution, was a combination of this new construction and renovation. And as you can see here, took my pointer away from me. Just point out some of these, this is a sketch of the building as it would look on the renovation and the new construction. I know it's kind of hard to read some of these, try to point out some of it to you, but there is in the back wall here, these very sketches that show you what is going to be changed in the school. This plan and an outside view and a frontal view. But as you can see here in the upper right-hand corner would be the new addition. Your bottom left-hand is the 1928 building, which explains the different things that will happen to the school through the renovation. Over here to the far left is the upstairs, the 1928 building. And I could go through all these with you for time concerns so we can answer your questions. I'm not going to read every one of these, but the major things is, here's your old cafeteria, which will be converted to an art room. The new cafeteria will be added here with a full preparation kitchen right here, addressing those issues we had. Here's the practice gymnasium with locker rooms. The old building here, we put the library and the small gym, and then we're going to move all these classrooms around, make them a little larger, and add those the main things we needed to improve the learning environment along with the upstairs area. So I encourage you to look at these in the back room so you know exactly what you're looking at. Here's an outside view of the building would look like. You have your 1928 building here. This is 18th Street here. No longer will go through. As you know now, there is an empty grass area in this area where the new addition would go. 18th Street will curve around here. You'll have your drop-off point for here and for your buses. What you're looking at there is the new cafeteria. You also, a nice addition, as you know, will be a parking stall, about 90 parking stalls here that will not have a street running through them. Here's a frontal view of the school. There's your 1928 building. There's the 18th Street curving around like we just talked about here. Okay, getting to the tax part of it. The tax facts, this plan's for a bond issue of $9.8 million. This is an additional 19.4 cents levy. All right, this is offset by a current 8 cent for the building fund, which means a total increase of 11.4 cents. We're going to break this down a little bit more with some examples here. Calculating the property tax increase on a specific property. In-town example, if your home is valued, tax value that is, not market value, $100,000 home times 11.4 cents, it's $114 a year. And you can see that we have a further breakdown, $9.50 a month, 31 cents a day. If you're a farmer, we have your farm example and your average irrigated acres. The 2009 average at the county assessor, our average is $1,387. We take that times 11.4. If you have 1,000 acres here, you can see $1,580 a year. Okay. The pamphlets that are at the front of the theater here, you can all grab those. A lot of this will be explained further, and you can see that example. So I encourage you to do that. If you have any questions about these tax facts, make sure you ask. We further break it down to dryland acres. They're valued $733. Times if you have 1,000 acres of dry land, you're $840 per year would be your additional tax. Pasture acre, lower value, $608. There's your example there. 1,000 acres would be $690 a year. We'll look at a little bit of the project, the cost breakouts of the project itself. As we talked about earlier, about a little over $5.5 million for the renovations, a little over $4.2 million for the new construction. And we broke down even further here to show you the main thing on the safety issues that need to be addressed. 77% of the cost is going to address those codes from the fire marshal report that we need to address. 77% of the money. 23% goes to practice gym and locker rooms. If we broke that down even further, for a gym, about 12% would go to a gym. And you can see the breakdown in the actual monetary value on the left side. And what are the right reasons? 3.5 years, a fire marshal report, the school or parts of the school, they could, especially the cafeteria, second floor, these areas that really are violating the codes, can be shut down or cannot be used. That is a fact. This plan will build pride in our community and our schools. One thing, as a member of the community on taxes, nobody wants to pay more taxes. The fact of it is we have to pay taxes. Everyone knows that. But thankfully, we live in a country and we live in a small community where we can go down the street and see our local tax dollars work. A lot of countries, socialized, poor, they don't ever get to see that. They don't ever get to see that tax money work. The beautiful thing is, yes, we're going to have to sacrifice and pay more money to have these things. But we can see them. Tangible. And there's a lot of intangible, things you can't touch, values that will come from this. Whether it is, in the future, we have a lot of young teachers here that are in our town. We have a great staff at Ord High School. We have a lot of older teachers who have stayed in this community. And they're going to be retiring. And we want to keep our young teachers here, and we want to bring new teachers in here, and they're not going to come into a school that's not safe, not healthy, and they can't teach the new 21st century teachings that they're taught in a school like that. So you got to ask yourself, is that something you want to invest in? Is that worth it to the community? I mean, the fact is we're all going to have to pay taxes. The farmers, the landowners, you're going to have to pay more. The burden is more. It's unfortunate the state of Nebraska is set up the way it is, but there's nothing we can really do about that right now. Not before we need to do something for our school. You may not have kids in Ord High School. You may never have kids in Ord High School, but I guarantee you have a friend, a relative, a neighbor who does. And you ask yourself, is it worth it for them, for their kids, for the kids of the future? That's what it really boils down to in all this. So why is the plan the right solution? Provide a safe, accessible environment which meets building code and handicap accessibility requirements. And 2, provide adequate programming space and facilities for our students and our teachers. and improve the energy efficiency of the building with a new heating and cooling system. And also we're maintaining Moore's history by that 1928 building, which